Let's talk about one of the system design or software design concept called brownout in this video. Brownout is also known as brownout pattern. Let's first start from the origin of this terminology. This terminology has originated from power grid. If the demand for electricity is higher than the supply, then this will cause blackout. So the power grid engineers will reduce the voltage of the power grid, so less energy will be drawn by individual appliances, and this will prevent blackout. And this will also create this effect where, because less energy is drawn by light bulbs, the light bulbs will dim, meaning their brightness will go down. And because the brightness has gone down, it will create this brownout effect. Okay, so this is the origin of this terminology. Now, let's understand how this applies to system or software design. Imagine that you have a system and this system has some essential and optional features. If you take an example of e-commerce site, things like checkout, product listing, and so on, these will be your essential features. And there will be some optional features like, displaying user specific recommendation, displaying advertisements and stuff like that. These are optional features. The core functionality of your application can still be delivered just by having these essential features, and these optional features are not necessary to provide the core value of your application, right? So now what you can do is, if your system is under high demand, you can aim to only deliver core features or aim to only have core feature active and disable these optional or non-essential features. So this way, the resources used by these optional features that include CPU, memory, and network bandwidth will be made available for your essential services. So your essential services can serve more customers because they have more capacity now. So they have more memory, more CPU, and more network bandwidth. So your end users or customers will be able to use your core services without any problem. Although they'll experience some degradation in the features, they'll still be able to use the core functionality without any significant issues. So that is the main idea. So basically, once we have identified these optional features, we will disable them. If we think our system is under heavy load and it is better to disable these features, so core functionality will have more bandwidth to serve our customers. Okay, so that is how this brownout pattern works. And I just want to clarify that this brownout is not an alternative to scaling. It is a complement to scaling. Okay, so we'll be using this as a complementary feature for scaling. So you will normally try to scale your application up, right? You can use either horizontal scaling or vertical scaling, whichever you prefer, depending on your architecture. But for whatever reason, the scaling is going to take a little bit longer, and during that period, you can actually use brownout, or you have reached your scaling limit. Okay, so you may have some sort of scaling limit and you have reached that, you can't scale it anymore. On those cases as well, you can use brownout. So basically, the idea here is, it is not a replacement for scaling. It is just a complementary addition to scaling. Okay, that is the way we need to look at this. That is all I wanted to share in this video. I hope this is useful. Thank you.